The Soviet T-62 tank is a vivid example of the extensive development approach in armored vehicle design. A blend of numerous compromises and innovations, it was, to the untrained eye, almost indistinguishable from its predecessor. Yet the T-62 carved out a significant niche within the Soviet Army and marked the first step into a new era for the country's armored forces. The T-62's predecessors didn't differ drastically from World War II-era machines. Their designs were simply more refined. Extensive combat experience helped Soviet engineers develop one of the best fighting machines of the time, the T-54. With its rational layout, transversely mounted rear engine, sloped armor, and a well-protected teardrop turret housing a powerful gun, for its weight class, of course, the T-54 offered an ideal combination of characteristics for the 1940s. Ongoing upgrades, new shells, ventilation systems, and gun stabilization mechanisms extended the T-54's capabilities. But, like all combat vehicles, it would eventually be retired. Finding a worthy successor, however, proved to be rather challenging. It had to be more than just tougher or better armed. It had to meet strict industrial and technical demands. The Object 140, developed at Uralvagonzavod, didn't meet manufacturing requirements and lost out to the Kharkiv-built Object 430, which featured a brand new engine. But even that design required significant refinement and ultimately remained just a prototype. Over time, the benefits of certain design solutions of the Object 430 became clear, notably the integrated fuel tank racks, as well as its new engine and powertrain compartment. Seeking a balance between innovation and manufacturability, the Uralvagonzavod team, led by Leonid Kartsev, tried adapting the Object 140 to the T-54 chassis, and ultimately created a hybrid of both. The new turret used an electric drive and had a lower profile, making it more suitable for mounting the 100mm 2A24 gun from the discarded Object 140. The load was carefully redistributed across the road wheels to balance the shifted center of gravity, and additional cooling flaps were added to the engine transmission compartment. Through these focused improvements, Kartsev's team produced a more modern vehicle without sacrificing component interchangeability. The military was satisfied with nearly every aspect of the tank, except the gun. As a key element of the updated model, the gun drew criticism for its muzzle brake, which kicked up clouds of dust when firing, for gas buildup inside the crew compartment, and for insufficient barrel pressure. A special shell ejection system fixed the gas issue, but all the other problems remained. The top brass then considered equipping the tank with the MT-12 Rapira gun, but the design wasn't particularly accommodating for it. Instead, engineers removed the 2A24's muzzle brake and rifling, and increased the caliber to 115mm. The result wasn't just a more powerful weapon. It was a smoothbore gun that could fire APF SDS rounds. Thus, the Object 166, later designated the T-62, became the world's first mass-produced medium tank, or main battle tank, to use such ammunition. Early Soviet 3BM4 APF SDS shells were basic, solid-body rounds with no core, but they significantly outperformed Western equivalents in armor penetration, marking a breakthrough in tank warfare. Thanks to its excellent gun and solid engineering, the T-62 remained in production for decades. Even in the 1980s, during the Soviet-Afghan War, the upgraded T-62M, now equipped with composite armor and a guided weapons system, remained in service. Its engine handled high-altitude conditions well, and in infantry support roles, it often performed as well or better than newer T-64s and T-72s, especially since Western-style MBTs weren't present in the theater. Though originally conceived as an interim design for the Soviet military, the T-62 had a lasting impact on Chinese tank development. After the 1969 conflict on Damansky Island, China captured a T-62 and, impressed by its features, spent several years reverse engineering its gun and experimenting with 120mm versions. These efforts didn't lead to particular breakthroughs, but gave Chinese designers valuable experience. In War Thunder, the T-62 appears at rank 6 in both the Soviet and Chinese tech trees, as well as in the Israeli lineup as the Tiran 6, a trophy tank captured during the Arab-Israeli Wars. The IDF made only minor modifications, such as mounting Browning machine guns, without structurally altering the vehicle. The T-62 remains one of the most versatile mid- to high-tier Soviet tanks in the game. It allows players to get used to APF SDS rounds. And then there's also the T-62M, offering additional survivability with composite armor on the upper glacis and turret. Do you enjoy going to battle in one of the most widely produced Soviet tanks of the Cold War? Tell us in the comments down below.